Exercise 10.2 Problem 2 Solution. The following table gives the cost and the number of notebooks bought. So here the number of notebooks 2, 4 is given in this row, 2, 4, 6, etc. And the cost paid for this 2 is 30 rupees, for 4 is 60 rupees, for 6 is 90 rupees, and so on. We are asked to draw the graph and hence find the cost of 7 notebooks. Okay. And how many notebooks can be bought for rupees 165. So we need to draw the graph. Actually we have the points, but we need to have an equation for it, right? So the first observation we'll have to see here is that as x is increasing, y is increasing. So y is directly proportional to x. So when y is directly proportional to x, the equation is y is equal to kx, right? So k will be equal to y divided by x, right? So k will be y divided by x. So y, these are y values and these are x values. So 30 by 2, also 60 by 4, 90 by 60, and one more 180 by 12. You can do for 2 or 3 and you'll get the same value, 15, right? But I've done for few. Actually 2 or 3 should be enough. Actually you will get the same value. Okay, so y by x is equal to 15. So that is k is equal to 15. So if you rewrite this equation, it will become y is equal to 15x. So this is the equation for which you'll have to draw the graph. Okay, but you don't need to create a table because the table is already created here. So we can straight away use this table. Only thing is that we'll have to select the scale of the x-axis and the y-axis. As you can see, notebooks cannot be negative and the cost also cannot be negative. So just for namesake, maybe you can have 1 or 2 centimeters on the negative axis for both an x and y. Otherwise, everything is on the right side, that is on the positive side. So x is varying from 2 to 12. So 12 max minus minimum is 12 minus 2, that is 10. So we can have 12 means 1 centimeter equal to 1 unit. That is good enough because we will have 12 centimeter. Okay, so 12 centimeter is possible because we are not going to have anything on the negative side. But in the case of cost, you have 180 rupees and the cost has to start from 0, right? So 180 minus 0. So 180 minus 0 is 180 units you have to have. So we have to have at least 1 centimeter equal to 20 units, which means you will have 10 centimeters approximately, right? So that is possible. So that is approximately the scale with which we have to work on. Okay, right. So what are the points which needs to be plotted? 230, 460, 690, 820, 120, 10, 150, 12, 180. So these are the points which we'll have to plot. Once we plot, we'll get a graph and then use that graph. You can find the cost of 7 notebooks as well as how many notebooks you can buy for 165 rupees. Okay, right. Let's go and plot it. So here we have the x-axis 1 centimeter equal to 1 unit, and on the y-axis we have 1 centimeter equal to 20 units. So 20 units I have started from 0 to 240 just to be a little more than what is required. 180 is required. You can stop with 200. Okay, and for namesake I've just introduced 1 on the negative, 1 centimeter on the negative side and 2 centimeters on the negative side of x-axis and 1 centimeter on the negative side of y-axis. Okay, right. So to clearly have the origin, that's all it is, right? So we have labeled the x-axis and the y-axis, and the x-axis represents the number of notebooks, that is the x, and the y-axis represents the cost, that is the y. Now let's start plotting the points. Okay, so what are the points? I hope you remember, that is 230, right? So x-axis is 2, right? And y-axis is 30. So 30 is somewhere here, the midpoint. So on this point, we'll have to come horizontal, and from here we'll have to go vertical. The intersecting point is the plot. Okay, that is where this is where the point lies. So like that, 6 and 90. So x-axis is 6, y-axis is 90. It's easier for you on the graph sheet because you will have the midpoint, a slightly different line, lighter than these boundaries, but thicker than the inner divisions. You will have that line. So along that line, you'll have to come horizontally, and from here you go up, and it will meet. That is the point 690. So like that, you'll have to plot few points, all the points, and you get and join them, you'll get a straight line. The very fact that it is a straight line, because y equal to 15x is a straight line with a slope of 15 actually. If you remember your analytical geometry, the slope is 15. But anyway, no problem. If all the points lie on the same straight line, then it is, you have done your calculation correctly. If one of the points, let's say, lies here, okay, and all other points can be joined on the straight line, then there is something wrong at this point. You'll have to check it out. Okay, now you have drawn the straight line. What is next? We are asked to find the 7 notebooks. So cost of 7 notebooks. So notebooks is represented on the x-axis. So this is the point. So go up, it will cut at one point, and from here draw a left horizontal line, and it will meet here, and this point is 105 rupees. Next, we are asked to find 165 rupees. 160, 165. See, from here draw an horizontal line. It will cut the straight line at one particular point, and from here you draw a vertical line, and wherever it meets the x-axis, that gives you the number of notebooks. So in this case, it is 11 notebooks. Okay. Right. Anyway, you know, cost of one notebook is 15. You can also quickly check. 11 into 15 is 65. 7 into 15 is 105. So that is a way you'll have to check, because 2 notebooks cost y equal to 15x, right? So when x is equal to 1, so you can quickly do that. When cost of one notebook, put x is equal to 1, so you'll get y equal to 15. So which means cost of one notebook is 15, and it is a constant price, right? So 7 notebooks will cost you 7 into 15, that is 105 rupees. That is coming out correctly. Similarly, for 165, you are getting 11. So let's do a check. 11 into 15, 165. That is correct. Right, so you have to mark this and write out the point here. Actually, you'll have to put a mark here. I have not done that here. So mark this point, okay, and this point also, okay, and write the coordinates of this point. So which means the cost of 7 notebooks is 105 rupees, and the number of notebooks that can be bought is 11. Okay, and the equation of the graph is straight line is y equal to 15x. You got it? So let's just go through one more time. So basically you are given the table, okay, and they have given clearly specified the x and the y, so you don't need to worry about finding which is the independent variable, which is a dependent variable. As you can see, number of notebooks is independent variable. As the number of notebooks vary, the cost will vary. Cost is also variable, but it depends on the number of notebooks. So this is independent variable and this is dependent variable. Dependent variable is always given as y. Independent variable is always given as x. So we have all the values, and you can see as x increases, y is increasing. So y is directly proportional to x, or y is equal to kx. Okay. So k will be y by x. Substitute few values and you'll get the value of k. Rewrite the equation y equal to 15x. Then collect all the points. So these are the points which needs to be plotted. Scale is very important. You'll have to select appropriately. And you can see in this graph, you don't have much of negative axis, x-axis, negative y-axis. For just namesake, we have put 2 here and 1 unit here, right? Because cost cannot be negative, nor number of notebooks cannot be negative, right? So that is why we are not having those things. And you have selected the scale as 1 centimeter equal to 20 on the y-axis, 1 centimeter equal to 1 unit on the x-axis. Plot all the points and you join it, you'll get a straight line. If some of the points are not forming the straight line, then there is something wrong in the calculation. Once you have the straight line, all you need to do is that if you want, here in this case we want to have 7 notebooks. So come to 7 notebooks on the x-axis, go up wherever it cuts the line, and go horizontally along that line, and you'll get the cost of it. Similarly for 165 rupees, so the cost is 165. Go horizontally to the right where it cuts the line and go down. That will give you the number of notebooks. How will you check it? You take the graph y equal to 15x, right? So when x is equal to 1, y equal to 15. 15 into 1 is 15. So cost of one notebook is 15 because x represents the number of notebooks. So cost of one notebook is 15. Cost of 7 notebooks is 15 sevens are 105. Correct. For 165 divided by 15, you will get 11 notebooks. So that is also right. So you can do algebraic checking also. Okay. So I hope it's clear. If not, please go through one more time. It will become clear. Thanks for watching this video.